5 suspended chords. These are just extensions of the chords we already know. If we know D major and E major and A major, we're just going to add a note, and that basically just gives us a variety when we're playing those chords. Because what's going to happen is when you're playing a song, you might play G, C, and D, and we end up on the G chord, and we play a Dsus note that adds a suspended sound to the D chord. So if we're playing D major, which we already know, the bottom 4 strings, D, you have a 4th finger on the 3rd fret, 1st string, where you're going to add that note, and you're going to bring it back off occasionally. So you're going to leave the whole chord down like D, and you're just going to add your 4th finger on occasion. And you might do a hammer-on, which is basically where you play the note, and in the middle of the beat, you hammer onto the note without plucking the string. So you just go. Or you might do a pull-off, which is where you pull it off of the string and don't pluck. So this would be a regular thing here, where we go D, D sus. But if we're doing the hammer-on, it's going to be without pushing on the string. If we're doing a pull-off, it's going to be a pull-off from the string after we play. Not, that would be just a regular note, but we're going to do pull-off. Like that. Okay, so there's your D sus. So let's play that together. If we're playing the 1 and 2 and 3 and, which is the 3-step strum pattern we learned last week, we would do it like this: D major to D sus. We're going to play 2 measures of D, then 2 measures of D sus, and then back to D, like that. Ready? 1, 2, play. 1, 2, and 3, and second measure, D sus. 2, 2, back to D. Now we're going to do the hammer-on this time. 2 and 3 and hammer-on. Did you hear that? So let's try it again. So we hammered on in the middle of the strum pattern, which is a little bit more challenging, but I want you to give it a try. If you can't do the hammer-on, then just don't worry about it. Just go straight in without doing the hammer-on. But let's try that. 1, 2, play. D major first. 1, 2, and 3, and second measure. Now D sus, hammer-on. Pull off. Okay, back to normal. Hammer on, not hammer on, just, and go back to normal, D like that. So D sus right here, and back to D, like that. So if you're playing D too many measures and you get tired of playing D, people will just add that sus all the time. So if I'm playing a picking pattern, you can even pull off that other note too, or you can do just some different variety to give that D some flavor. Okay, so there's your D sus, and that's optional. That's just to show you something for the future that you can use. If we're doing E, we'll play our 1st finger on the 3rd string, 1st fret, 2nd finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret, and we'll play the E major, and we're going to add the E sus note, like that. So it sounds kind of kind of like a suspended chord, which is what we're going for, the E sus. So E sus, let's do with E, and we'll play 2 measures of the 3-step strum pattern, and then we'll play E sus for 2 measures and go back to E after that. So E major first. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3, and second measure. Here's E sus. Leave the whole chord down, and just add that 4th finger back to E. And E sus. Back to E. There's your E to E sus, back to E. And then we'll do A. We're going to do 2nd and 3rd and 4th finger on the 2nd fret, the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. Now we're going to add this 4th finger. We're just going to slide it up to the next fret on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. So we're going to go A here to A sus. And we don't want to pick up our finger and go like that, because that's gonna be hard. It's gonna be harder than just slide. So just try to slide that finger, and if you have to get your fingers up close to the fret bar, to this side of the fret bar, that's okay. Just get your fingers as close as you can so you can be ready to slide that up and slide that back in. Okay? So let's do A to A sus. 1, 2, 3. A, 2 and 3 and second measure, and A sus, back to A, and A sus, and we're gonna go back to A, and we're gonna switch to D major this time. So we're gonna go a little slower so we can get ready for the change. Keep doing the A sus in between. And we're gonna go back to D right here. 1 and second measure, here's D. Good. And then second measure, and now D sus. Back to D. And D sus. Back to D, and then we'll switch to E here in a second. E major. Last time to E right here. E. Now E sus. And then back to E. And back to E sus. And we'll end on E. Awesome. So we're doing suspended chords. We're doing chords that we've learned in the previous weeks and just adding a suspended note to them. So hopefully that's a little bit fun and not a huge addition to what we've learned, just maybe just an additional added tool you can use when you're tired of just playing a regular D. Okay? So there's then we go to page 29 and we have a 4-step strum pattern.